The overnight shift at WKRZ paid $7 an hour, which was just enough to keep Evan Hale from dropping out of college. Not much, but better than nothing. That's what he told himself every time he pushed through the station's back door at 11 p.m., stepping into the smell of old carpet and burnt coffee. Nobody wanted the graveyard shift. The station went dark at midnight. No programming, just a looped message telling people to tune back in at 6 a.m. Evan's job was simple. Make sure nothing caught fire, answer the phone if it rang, and test any equipment the day crew was too lazy to deal with. It was boring work. Soul-crushing, mind-numbing work. But it was quiet, and Evan could usually get his homework done between equipment checks. The station occupied the second floor of a converted warehouse near campus. During the day, it buzzed with energy. DJs arguing about playlists, phone lines lighting up, music thumping through the walls. At night, it was a tomb. Just Evan, the hum of ancient equipment, and the static that filled the airwaves after sign-off. He'd been working there 3 weeks when he found the cassette recorder. It was shoved in the back of the supply closet, tangled up with XLR cables and broken headphones. An old Sony, the kind with actual tape reels visible through the plastic window. Evan pulled it out, curious. The thing still had a tape inside. Equipment test, read a piece of masking tape on the side, dated 1987. 12 years ago. Evan brought it back to the booth and plugged it in. The power light flickered, then held steady. He pressed play. Static, just static. 30 seconds of it, then the tape ran out. He was about to toss it back in the closet when he had a thought. The AM transmitter had been acting up lately, cutting out randomly, making weird noises. Maybe he could record some of the dead air, see if there was a pattern to the interference. It was 12:30 a.m. The station had gone dark 30 minutes ago. Evan tuned the booth radio to WKRZ's frequency and heard the familiar hiss of empty airspace. He rewound the tape, pressed record, and left it running. Then he went back to his homework. 20 minutes later, he stopped the tape and rewound it. He expected to hear nothing but static, white noise, the occasional pop or crackle, radio silence. He pressed play. At first, that's all it was. Static, but about 10 seconds in, something else came through, faint, buried under the hiss. Evan turned up the volume. Breathing. It was slow, deliberate, in and out, too rhythmic to be random interference, too human. Evan's skin prickled. He rewound the tape and listened again. There, definitely breathing. And something else, pauses, like someone was waiting. He told himself it was crosstalk, some other frequency bleeding through. It happened sometimes with old equipment. But he'd never heard crosstalk that sounded like that. So, present. He recorded again the next night. This time he let the tape run for an hour. When he played it back, the breathing was still there. But now there were other sounds. Faint clicks, like a tongue against teeth. A wet sound, like someone swallowing. And underneath it all, a low hum that didn't match the static, something with intention behind it. Evan felt his stomach turn over. He should stop, throw the tape away, forget about it. Instead, he leaned into the microphone. Hello? His voice felt stupid in the empty booth. He waited, watching the tape spools turn. Nothing. He tried again. Is anyone there? Still nothing. just static and that slow, patient breathing. Evan laughed nervously. "I'm losing it," he muttered. Then he had a weird thought. What if he didn't say it out loud? He sat back in his chair and thought the question as clearly as he could. "Can you hear me?" The static changed. It was subtle, just a shift in pitch, a brief acceleration in the hiss. But it was there, a reaction. Evan's heart hammered against his ribs. "Who are you?" The static crackled sharply, then smoothed out again. 3 distinct pops, evenly spaced. Evan's mouth went dry. Every night after that, he recorded. Every night the responses got clearer. It started with timing. When Evan thought a question, the static would pulse, once for yes, twice for no. Simple, almost playful. Then syllables began forming, fragments of words buried in the white noise. It took Evan hours of playback, headphones cranked, to pick them out. "Here. Listen. Close." He started keeping notes, cataloging responses. He knew it was crazy. He knew he should tell someone. But there was something addictive about it, like he'd discovered a door no one else could see. On his 10th night of recording, he made a mistake. He'd been playing back one of the tapes, headphones on, when Jerry Chen walked into the booth. Jerry was another intern, cocky, loud, the kind of guy who thought college radio was his ticket to real broadcasting. "Dude, what are you listening to?" Jerry asked. Evan yanked off the headphones. "Nothing, just testing equipment." Jerry smirked. "You look like you've seen a ghost." "I'm fine. Let me hear." "It's nothing, really." But Jerry had already grabbed the headphones. Evan watched his face change as he listened. The smirk faded. His eyes narrowed. "What the hell is this?" "I told you, it's play it out loud." "Jerry, I don't think we'll play it out loud." Evan hesitated. Then, against every instinct, he routed the tape through the booth speakers. The breathing filled the room. Slow, wet, patient. Jerry went pale. "Where did you record this?" "Here at night during the dead air." "That's not possible." "I know." They listened for another minute. Then, clear as day, a voice emerged from the static. Whispering. Barely there, but unmistakable. "Why did you stop calling?" Jerry stumbled backward. No way. What is it?" Jerry's hands were shaking. That's my mom's voice. My mom, she died 3 years ago." Evan felt ice slide down his spine. "Jerry." But Jerry was already out the door. Evan should have stopped then, erased the tapes, quit. But he didn't. The next night he recorded again, and this time when he played it back, he heard something new. His own voice. "I'm sorry," it said. "I didn't mean to." But Evan hadn't said those words. Not out loud. Not even in his head. He was still staring at the tape player when the phone rang. It was 2 a.m. The phone never rang at 2 a.m. Evan picked up. WKRZ. Silence, then faintly, "Stop listening." The line went dead. Evan's hands wouldn't stop shaking. He rewound the tape, played it again. His voice was still there, apologizing for something he hadn't done yet. And underneath it, another voice, whispering. We didn't want to be heard. On the 15th night, Evan made his final mistake. He'd been trying to get a cleaner recording, less static, more voice. He'd rerouted the signal, boosted the gain, isolated the frequency, and without thinking, without checking, he'd left the broadcast channel open. The tape went out over the air. The first call came in at 12:07 a.m., then another, then 10 more. By 12:15, the phone was ringing nonstop. People heard things. Voices of dead relatives. Their own voices saying terrible things. Children crying. Names being whispered. Secrets being told. Evan tried to shut it down, but the equipment wouldn't respond. The tape kept playing. The whispers kept growing louder. And then, through the speakers, Evan heard his own voice again. "Please don't listen. They're not who you think they are." The station manager found Evan the next morning unconscious in the booth. The tape recorder was still running, but the tape inside had been completely erased. Blank. Evan never came back to work. He withdrew from school 2 weeks later. Stopped answering calls. Stopped going outside. The last anyone heard from him was a voicemail left for Jerry Chen. It was rambling, incoherent, desperate. "They're not voices from the past," Evan whispered. "They're from what's coming. They're warnings, and we let them out." The message ended with the sound of static, and underneath it, barely audible, breathing. Years later, when the station was being renovated, workers found a box of cassette tapes hidden in the walls, all labeled with dates, all containing hours of dead air. One of the workers made the mistake of playing them. He quit the next day, wouldn't say why. But if you listen closely, really closely, you can still hear them, whispering, waiting, saying things that haven't happened yet. Marcus Webb had installed security cameras in 43 buildings over the past 5 years, and he'd never seen anything weird. Broken equipment, sure. Rats chewing through cables, definitely. But nothing that kept him up at night. The Rossmore apartments were supposed to be his last job before the holidays. 22 floors, scheduled for demolition in January. The owners wanted one final security sweep before they cleared everyone out. Liability stuff, making sure squatters didn't move in during the transition. Easy money, 2 days of work max. Marcus started on the top floor and worked his way down. The building was mostly empty now. Maybe a dozen tenants left, scattered across the lower floors. The hallways smelled like old carpet and heating oil. Water-stained ceilings, peeling paint. The kind of place that had seen better decades. By the second day, he'd installed cameras in every stairwell, every entrance, and all 3 elevators. The feeds routed to a central DVR in the basement management office. Standard setup. He was testing the connections when elevator B gave him trouble. The camera kept cutting out. 3 seconds of clear video, then static. 3 seconds static. Marcus checked the power supply, the cable connections, the camera itself. Everything looked fine. "Come on," he muttered, watching his laptop screen. "Don't do this to me." He power cycled the camera. The feed stabilized. And that's when he saw it. On the elevator panel, below the button marked 1, there was another button. It was labeled 0. Marcus blinked, looked closer. The button was real, or at least the camera was showing it, brushed metal, slightly tarnished with a faded 0 etched into it. But Marcus had been in that elevator a dozen times today. He'd stared at that panel. There were 22 numbered buttons, 2 basement levels marked B1 and B2, and the emergency stop. Nothing else. He pulled up his phone and scrolled through the photos he'd taken during the install. There, a clear shot of Elevator B's panel. No 0 button. Marcus felt something cold settle in his chest. He saved the video clip and made a note to check the elevator again before he left. But when he rode Elevator B down 10 minutes later, the panel looked completely normal. 22 floors, 2 basements, nothing else. The camera was still showing the 0. Back in the management office, Marcus sat in front of the monitor wall and pulled up the archived footage. He wanted to see if the button had appeared before or if it was just some weird glitch with the new camera. He scrubbed backward through the day's recordings. Nothing unusual. Elevator going up and down, empty mostly, a few remaining tenants getting on and off. Then he went back to last night. At 2:11 a.m., something changed. The elevator was stationary on the 3rd floor, empty, the doors closed. And then, without anyone pressing a button, it started moving. Down. Past the 1st floor. Past B1. Past B2. The floor indicator on the camera feed flickered. And when it stabilized, it read 0. The doors opened. Marcus leaned forward, heart thumping. The hallway beyond was wrong. It stretched too far, way longer than any hallway should be in this building. The lights were different, older, flickering fluorescence that cast everything in sickly yellow-green. The walls were the same institutional beige as the rest of the building, but the paint looked newer, wetter almost. There were doors along both sides of the hallway. No numbers on any of them. The elevator doors stayed open for exactly 30 seconds. Nobody got on, nobody got off. Then they closed and the elevator returned to the 3rd floor. Marcus replayed the clip 3 times. "What the hell?" he whispered. He checked the other elevator cameras. Nothing strange, just Elevator B just at 2:11 a.m. He scrubbed forward through the rest of the night. It happened again at 3:11 a.m., same floor, same hallway. Doors open for 30 seconds, then back up. And again at 4:11 a.m. Marcus pulled up the previous week's archived footage, recorded by the old analog system before he'd installed the new cameras. He found the same timestamps. Every night, every hour between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., the elevator went to floor 0. But the old camera showed nothing, just the elevator sitting still, doors closed. Only the new digital camera saw it. Marcus knew he should leave it alone. Finish the job, collect his check, forget about it. Instead, he slowed down the footage. At quarter speed, the hallway looked even worse. The lights didn't just flicker, they pulsed, like something breathing. The doors seemed to shift slightly, moving when he wasn't looking directly at them. And then he saw the reflections. In the polished metal of the elevator doors, barely visible, there were shapes, human-shaped, standing behind the camera, behind where Marcus had mounted it on the elevator ceiling. He paused the video, enhanced the image. 3 figures, blurred, indistinct, facing the camera, just standing there. Marcus felt his skin crawl. There was nobody in the elevator. The camera had a wide-angle view. He could see the entire car, empty. But the reflections showed people. Watching. He replayed the clip from 3:11 a.m., slowed it down, enhanced it. The figures were closer to the camera now, more defined. He could almost make out faces. The 4:11 a.m. clip was worse. The figures were right behind the camera. One of them had its hand raised, not quite touching the lens, but close. Marcus could see fingers, pale, too long. He slammed the laptop shut. His hands were shaking. This was insane. Some kind of video artifact, compression glitch, something. It had to be. But he knew what he'd seen. Marcus didn't go back to the building that night. He went home, drank 4 beers, and tried to convince himself it was nothing. At 2 a.m., his phone buzzed. Motion alert from the Rossmore security system. Wang. Then he pulled up the app. Elevator B was moving. Down past the lobby, past B1, past B2. Floor 0? Marcus watched the live feed. The doors opened, same hallway, same sickly lights. Kun. And this time something moved. Just at the edge of the frame, barely visible. Something tall and thin standing in one of the doorways. Not moving, just there. Marcus's finger hovered over the screen, ready to close the app. The thing in the doorway turned its head, slowly, like it was looking at the camera. Looking at him, Marcus threw his phone across the room. He didn't sleep that night. When morning came, he called the building owner and quit. Made up some excuse about a family emergency. The owner wasn't happy, but Marcus didn't care. He was done. Except he'd made copies of the footage. He didn't know why. Curiosity maybe, evidence, something. He posted a short clip online, just 15 seconds from the 2:11 a.m. recording. No explanation, just found this on a security camera. Anyone know what this is? It got 50 views in the first hour, 200 by the end of the day. The comments started coming in that night. Holy shit, this happened to me. Elevator in my building went to a floor that doesn't exist. My apartment has 8 floors. Last week, the elevator tried to take me to floor 9. I got off before the doors opened. There's something wrong with that hallway. The doors don't go in. Then the report started. Apartment buildings across the city. Elevators stopping at impossible floors. Doors opening onto hallways that shouldn't exist. Some people got off. Most didn't. The ones who got off never came back. Marcus stopped reading the comments, deleted his account. But the video was already spreading, copied, re-uploaded, dissected frame by frame. People saw things he hadn't noticed. Shadows moving in the doorways, writing on the walls in languages nobody recognized. Faces pressed against the inside of the doors, watching. And the figures in the reflection, the ones standing behind the camera, were getting clearer with every view. On the 7th day after he posted the video, Marcus's doorbell rang at 2:11 a.m. He didn't answer it. It rang again at 3:11, and 4:11, and 5:11. He looked through the peephole each time, nobody there, just his empty hallway. But when he checked his phone, when he pulled up the building's security app just to make sure, he saw something that made his blood freeze. His own apartment building's elevator was showing a button labeled 0, and it was lit up, like someone had pressed it. Marcus grabbed his keys and ran, down the stairs, out the back entrance, into his car. He drove to a motel across town, paid cash, didn't give his real name. He stayed there for 3 days. On the 4th day, he went back to his apartment. Everything looked normal. No weird elevator activity, no unexplained doorbells. But when he checked his laptop, when he opened the folder with the archived footage, there was a new file. He didn't remember saving it. The timestamp read, today, 2:11 a.m. Marcus almost deleted it. Almost. but he clicked play. Shawnee. The footage was from elevator B. The doors were opening on floor 0, same hallway, same lights. But this time the camera was moving. Someone was carrying it, walking down the hallway, past the unnumbered doors. The view swayed with each step, footsteps echoing in the empty space. The camera turned a corner. The hallway stretched on forever, impossibly long. And at the very end, so far away it was almost invisible, there was a door. It was open. Light spilled out, not the sickly yellow-green of the hallway lights, but something else, something that hurt to look at. The camera moved closer, closer. The video ended. The final frame showed the camera being set down, positioned carefully, pointing back the way it had come. At the elevator doors, waiting. Marcus hasn't posted anything online since then. His last message, sent to a Reddit forum at 1:58 a.m. 3 weeks ago, said, "Don't watch the footage. Every view makes it stronger. Every replay brings it closer. Floor 0 only exists when someone is watching." He was never heard from again. But the video is still out there, and people are still watching. Their elevators are starting to change. The phone booth sat at the intersection of Route 47 and Nowhere, about 3 miles outside the town of Millridge. Mara Quinn almost missed it. Just a warped glass box with a faded blue roof, half hidden by overgrown weeds and a rusted guardrail. She pulled her car onto the gravel shoulder and killed the engine. "Okay," she said into her recorder. "It's September 14th, about 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm at the location locals call the waiting booth." Catchy, right? Mara had been running her true crime podcast, Dead Air, for 2 years now. 23 episodes, decent following, enough Patreon subscribers to quit her day job. She specialized in forgotten tragedies, the cases nobody else bothered with anymore. Millridge was full of them. The town was dying. Population down to 300. Most businesses boarded up. Young people gone. But the stories remained. And one story kept coming up in Mara's research: the phone booth. According to locals, people used to make emergency calls from that booth back in the 70s and 80s. Car accidents, medical emergencies, domestic situations. They'd dial for help and wait. Help never came. Not the police, not ambulances, nothing. Some people died waiting. Others eventually gave up and drove themselves to the hospital if they could. A few just disappeared, walked away from their cars, and were never seen again. The phone company claimed there was nothing wrong with the line. Calls went through. Dispatchers received them. Help was sent. But somehow, it never arrived at the right place. The booth was decommissioned in 1991, phone removed, line disconnected. But the structure remained. Too expensive to haul away, too worthless to bother with. Mara grabbed her equipment bag and walked over. Up close, the booth looked worse. The glass was cracked, covered in grime. The metal frame was orange with rust. The phone cradle was still there. Empty, just a rectangular outline where the receiver used to hang. But the coin slot remained. Below it, the number pad. Mara ran her finger over the buttons. They were loose, corroded but still present. All 12 of them. She set up her portable recorder on the shelf where the phone book would have been. Then she pulled out her phone and started filming backup footage for her YouTube channel. "So here's what I'm going to do," she said to the camera. "I'm going to try dialing from this booth. Obviously there's no phone, but Locals swear they still hear ringing sometimes, like the line never fully died. She pressed 911 on the keypad. Nothing happened. No dial tone, no ringing, just the sound of wind through the cracked glass. Mara tried a random number, her sister's cell. Still nothing. She was about to give up when she heard it. A click. Faint, metallic, coming from the empty phone cradle. Then a dial tone. Mara's skin prickled. She looked at her phone camera, making sure it was recording. Did you hear that? She pressed more numbers. Random sequence. 5550183. The booth filled with the sound of ringing. Once. Twice. Someone picked up. Mara's breath caught. Hello? Silence on the other end. But not empty silence. She could hear something, background noise, faint, like the call was coming from very far away. Hello, can you hear me? No response. Just that distant sound. Static, maybe. Or breathing. The line went dead. Mara tried 3 more times, each call connected, each time someone or something picked up. But nobody spoke. On the 4th call, she heard something else. Crying. A woman's voice, muffled like she was covering her mouth, sobbing quietly. Hello, are you okay? The crying stopped. Then very faintly, please. The line disconnected. Mara stood there for a moment, heart hammering. She packed up her equipment and got the hell out. Back in her apartment, Mara transferred the recordings to her laptop. She'd been doing this long enough to know that sometimes microphones picked up things your ears missed in the moment, frequencies just outside normal hearing, details buried in background noise. She put on headphones and started reviewing the footage. The first 3 calls sounded exactly like she remembered. Ringing, someone picking up, silence, dead air. But the 4th call, the one with the crying, was different. When Mara listened back, the woman wasn't just crying, she was talking. Don't know where I am. I called an hour ago. They said someone was coming. Please, A male voice interrupted, distant. Sarah, get back in the car. He's getting worse. There's so much blood. Why isn't anyone... The recording cut off. Mara replayed it, same conversation, but she hadn't heard any of that in the moment, just crying in one word. Please. Her hands were shaking. She moved to the next file. The 5th call, one she'd made after the crying woman, contained a full conversation. A man's voice. I don't care what you think you saw. I need you to come get me. Now. A woman responding, You're not making sense. What happened to your car? It's still here. I'm still here. But I can't... His voice cracked. Something's wrong with this place. The road doesn't go anywhere anymore. What are you talking about? I've been driving for 3 hours. Same stretch of highway over and over. I keep passing the phone booth. I keep calling you. Why won't you answer? This is the first time you've called. No, I've called 16 times. Static swallowed the rest. Mara stared at her screen. She'd made that call. She'd heard nothing but dead air. But the recording told a different story. She went through the rest of the files. Every single call contained conversations she hadn't heard. Arguments, pleas for help, last goodbyes. All of them mentioning the phone booth, waiting, calling, being stuck. And then she reached the final recording. It was the last call she'd made before leaving, just a test, dialing her own number to see if it would connect. On the recording, Mara heard herself speaking. But these weren't words, she'd said. Her own voice, panicked. Oh God, there's something. A pause, heavy breathing. There's something standing behind me, in the booth. I can see it in the glass. It's not. Her voice rose to a scream. Then silence. Mara ripped off her headphones. Her whole body had gone cold. That didn't happen. She would remember that. She'd been alone in the booth. Nothing behind her. No screaming. She checked the timestamp. It matched. Same day, same time. But the conversation on the recording had never occurred. Mara didn't sleep that night. She spent hours going through the files, trying to find an explanation. Audio glitch, crossed signals, something rational. But the recordings were clean, high quality, no signs of tampering or interference. Against her better judgment, she decided to use them. The episode aired on October 1st. Dead Air episode 24, The Waiting Booth. Mara included clips from the recordings, the crying woman, the man driving in circles, everything except her own panicked voice. That felt too personal, too real. The response was immediate. Her inbox flooded. Reddit threads exploded. The episode hit number 3 on the true crime charts. But the messages weren't what she expected. I made a call from a phone booth in 1987. Nobody answered. I'm hearing my own voice in your recording. That woman crying, that's my mom. She died in a car accident in 1979 on Route 47. The man talking about driving in circles, I know him. He disappeared in 1983. They found his car on the shoulder near a phone booth, empty. Mara stopped reading after the 50th message. Then, 6 days after the episode aired, her phone rang. It was 2:47 a.m. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Hello? Silence, then that familiar sound, distant, staticky, background noise from somewhere far away. Hello? Mara said again. A voice came through, her own voice. Something standing behind me, in the booth. I can see it in the glass. Mara's heart stopped. It was the recording, the one she hadn't aired, playing back to her through the phone. No, she whispered. Her voice on the recording. It's not moving, just standing there, watching. I can't. This isn't real. I can't turn around. If I turn around, the line crackled. When the voice returned, it wasn't hers anymore. Low, rasping, wrong. You recorded us, it said. Now we get to call back. The call disconnected. Mara didn't move for a full minute. Then she called the phone company, demanded to know where that call came from. The representative checked. Ma'am, there's no record of any incoming call to your number tonight. That's impossible. I just answered. According to our system, your last incoming call was 3 days ago. Mara hung up. Her phone rang again immediately. Same unknown number. She let it go to voicemail. When she played the message back, it was 23 minutes long. All of it was recordings from the booth, conversations she'd captured, ones she hadn't aired, and new ones she'd never heard before. People begging, screaming, calling for help that would never arrive. And at the end, that wrong voice again. We're still waiting. You helped us reach further. Thank you. The calls kept coming, every night, always between 2 and 3 a.m. always from numbers that didn't exist. Always playing back recordings, some from the booth, some from places Mara had never been. She stopped answering, blocked the numbers, changed her phone. Nothing helped. Other podcasters started receiving calls too. Anyone who'd shared her episode, anyone who'd listened to the recordings. The calls always said the same thing. You recorded us, now we get to call back. Mara drove back to Route 47 2 weeks later, desperate to understand, to fix whatever she'd started. The phone booth was gone. Not demolished, just gone, like it had never existed. No foundation, no debris, just empty ground and overgrown weeds. But when she checked her recorder, the one she'd left running in her car, it had picked up something. Ringing, faint, coming from where the booth used to be. And underneath it, voices, dozens of them, hundreds, all talking at once, all making calls that would never be answered. All waiting. Mara's podcast has been dark for 3 months now. Her last post, deleted within hours, simply said, "Don't listen to episode 24. Delete it. They're not recordings of the past. They're calls from people who never stopped waiting. And now they have our numbers." But the episode is still out there, mirrored, re-uploaded, spreading. And every night somewhere, someone's phone rings. They pick up, and the waiting continues.